Hey guys, welcome to Roll for Adventure episode 36. The last session there was a lot of tears, sadness, and relief, and God knows a lot of struggle and all that. Very impactful session, so it's going to be a bit of a long recap. So let's just get straight into it.
Amidst your journey through the realm of Feywild, making your way through the steaming peaks and through the winding tunnels through this mountain. The shorter travel that you knew was to be a bit more dangerous than going over the top. Thinking that you were heading in the way of the Everfrost wastes to the north, pushing through until you found an icy pocket of these tunnels, waiting for it to lead you out into the snowy plains beyond, you first encountered a small cavern, almost crystalline in the way that ice is formed in here, one of those steaming geysers that shot through these hills, frozen in the center. Skating around the edge of the room and moving through this difficult terrain, as you were near the exit, this large creature, this frost salamander, falling from the ceiling. Within a matter of moments, immediately putting much of the party on death's door. And within a few moments more, taking the life from Lily, encasing her in a frozen coffin here in this cave. With emotions and tensions high, Strider and Yorna taking her from this place and pushing onwards with a purpose. Moving through the plains, whether it would have been a day or a week's journey, your shared determination pushing you across that expanse. What felt like it could have been minutes or hours pushing through a blizzard eventually. You were welcomed into a small pocket. A campfire at the center and the herald of the matron of scales sat there. Offered you passage for a small fee, setting you up with an expectation of what was to come with your encounter with this hag, giving you a path forward but removing one of your possible paths home. Unbeknownst to you which. He then thrust you back out with the frozen body of Lily in tow. You all pushed through. Pushing past ancient ruins, these furred yetis clinging on as you pushed across barren waste. Eventually, a visage that was familiar to Yorna from a nightmare she had recently had. This almost semicircle crescent moon hillside that pushed up at the back. As you pushed in, you could see these undead frost giants looming around, the eyes and ears of the hag within. You moved up to that ancient, squat-looking tree here in the center of all of this. Its leaves this almost crystalline white. You were welcomed in. The door opened before you as you traversed a few chambers, seeing things that had been taken and seemingly put on display. till you entered a central chamber. This almost natural round hollow in the center of the tree. Saw almost like a small orchard in this space. Fruit trees growing out from the sides of the room. You were greeted by a large red dragon, and eventually the voice of Granny Ada, this twisted ice hag, hundreds of sharp teeth across this far too wide grin, one of her arms almost childish in its proportion, missing muscle, the other one a gargantuan monstrosity that drags on the floor with this clawed hand at the end of it. Through introduction and clever dealings, you were able to bargain to have Lily's life restored to her in the moments after death. But at a cost. To balance the scales, in a sense, sacrificing any future heirs that Strider may have, or that any of his family may have. Only to be reversed, should you manage to take down Mother at the end of all of this. A life for many, or for one immortal one. Yorna then turned her attention to more personal matters, and after battling with wanting to know where and why and how whatever druidic potential she had been taken, eventually giving in and just asking for it back. It being revealed to you that whatever was left from that deal is what had been used to create this orchard, to make this grotto in the middle of the icy wastes a bit more homely, and that the rest of that potential had been used for whatever deal was struck. In this space now, the ice thawing around Lily, life returning to her eyes, a vision flashing in her mind during that traversal back from death to life, this featureless, smoothed over face of muddied colors, a cacophony of hundreds, if not thousands of voices, all angry or sad or confused as to why she wouldn't be joining. In this moment, as Yorna is finishing her deal, and emotions are high in these chambers as Ada kind of watches from afar. How do we pick up from that moment?
Good.
Yeah.
Is Lily still look weak?
Incredibly.
I will use a Cure Wounds potion. This to drink. It's better than being on death's door still.
Roll for me.
Once Cure Wounds is D8.
D8 plus wisdom.
Six.
Better than one.
Less on death's door.
Mm-hmm.
I feel a little better.
Well, it's good to have your back at least. It was tough getting you here.
Sorry you had to go through all that.
It was worth it.
Yeah.
Well, how did you even get me back?
Yona carried you in a giant ice block.
I assume that, bring me back to life.
We
Look at the hag.
had that conversation, did we not?
Well, I guess maybe what happened in her head. It's a good question. Do I, would I know that?
I mean, you guys had a chat after
Yeah.
when you were
I
hugging
did.
on the ground. Briefly went
Right.
over it, I think.
I did tell her, in her like vision thing, but I'm not sure if that counts as me.
Either or. You were both present, both there.
Yeah. I guess it would have been conveyed.
Oh, that's right. Before we make any more deals, we need still 2 very crucial bits of information. Location and a cure for us and for
Everyone else.
everyone else.
Well, we came here to save lives, and we got to save more lives than we intended, but that's fine. I honestly don't know what I could offer for this cure or anything. Didn't even think that what I've offered now was even an option I would ever come up with. So I'll try to chip in what if I can, but I'm not sure what I have even left to offer.
Granny?
More so soon. I'd expected you would take some time to recuperate a little.
Well, I would like to not get down to business, but there are some things we need to know, and I am tossing up as to what might be balanced for what we want, and that is the location of the Coven of One and a cure for us 3, and I believe 2 others. No, there's the others as well, the Elowen, Daria, Seren, us 3.
Well, they're already in control.
I think Elowen we can save. At
There's
least
a
we have
chance.
Elowen.
We can try save Elowen if that's what you wish, but I don't think Galria and stuff can be saved unless we kill the Night Hag.
I want to at least try and, have
It
extra.
will cost you.
I'm aware. I just don't know what exactly a cure would cost.
I think we should bargain for more cures than we need, because they are fully in her control. If we defeat the Night Hag, then...
Well, I'm
we'll
at
leave,
6, and if we include Gavia and Rabafael, we could get 10. 2 over.
I just don't think we should aim for them. We're already going to be paying quite a price for something like this. If they're fully under control...
Is that something you are willing to... what I'm about to ask you. Just a little bit of knowledge for free. And that would be just a small thing. Shoot, I lost my train of thought. Oh my god, I had it on the tip of my tongue.
We are asking for quite a few favors, so perhaps giving us some little answers might be fair for how much we've been asking.
My small question is, if the Night Hag, when the Night Hag is defeated, her and her whole little coven thing, do we get released from this curse she has on us, or we need a cure?
How should I know? It hasn't been done.
Insight check.
Give me an insight check.
Maybe she's just trying to play hard to get. I don't know. I just want to be sure. 17.
17. She ran away.
Yeah, true.
She got no idea.
Also, no one's killed the Night Hag before, or I should be dead.
No, but I mean, I don't know much about hags. Maybe you all have some, not connection, but a rough idea of how things might
She's
work.
no hag anymore.
Alright.
Well, even if she still has some hag sense about her, how How did your other sister die?
Torn apart limb from limb. I have a feeling that won't work on Mabel anymore.
There were rumors about Maple making deals or some sort of wanting more power from demons.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
So
with
much.
the demon activity that we have seen, it's very possible that that's very deeply mixed up.
Yeah, but it was said that she made dealings to the point probably where she became one or is being controlled by one. And I want to insight check to see if mentioning being controlled versus becoming one triggers any
Yeah,
like
give me
facial
an insight
expression.
check.
That's going to be 21.
21. You get the same sense of questioning from her that you have yourself. This kind of, she didn't want to stick around long enough to find out.
What kind of return would you expect from a cure for what ails us now?
Such a thing is not easily removed. I should know. And yet you require quite the amount. And to take with you, no less. The fortitude for your future. Enough to keep you kicking. It won't be cheap.
I think we should ask about the location of the coven first.
And just hope that
Well-
killing it'll solve it, or
I think killing her will probably solve it since it seems to be that.
do you even have enough time for that?
No, what I mean is we might be able to afford cures for us to then take her down if the coven's close enough by location.
I see. All right, then how much for a location?
I'll propose the question to you first. What's the information worth in your eyes?
A fair amount.
What's the hag dead worth in your eyes?
You've already dealt with her life. You're not doing it again.
Can't blame a man for trying.
Indeed.
It is one we might be able to find on our own with lots and lots of time.
Which you don't have.
Exactly.
Well, you were once there. You were a part of the coven before.
It might have moved. She might have put it somewhere else.
I feel like something like coven holds some sort of potentially magical or nostalgia thing, even for someone off there.
Not when you murder your sister and disband the troop. But I have some ideas. Time. Curious idea. That's what it would cost you anyway. Why not give me a little instead? A little less than it would take you on your own.
You want time.
Sounds like that's the fair deal.
That's why we don't have time.
She's offering if we give her a little time, it would still be less time than what we would spend.
Give me a little, save a lot.
All right, how much time do you want?
I just don't trust it at all.
I
Fine.
just want to know.
Then give me another offer.
Well, how much time would you want?
A week each should suffice.
Like, of
Each? So 3 weeks?
3 weeks.
of
Life?
all time.
You won't even notice it pass.
But what's it going to do out there? Will we come back and 3 weeks will have gone by?
You're bright.
Well, I don't like the sound of that.
Then give me a better deal. Something more enticing.
The location. I would be willing to give up memories for it.
Ooh.
Where's the balance in locations for memories?
Knowledge for knowledge.
Maybe there's a place that you can forget in exchange for a memory of a new place. Would that be something you would accept?
Potentially, if the memory was valuable to oneself.
Gosh.
Memories of what the night hag has shown me in my nightmares, whether it be truth or lie.
Curious. Give me a persuasion check.
I don't know what you get if it's...
This is
Believe
some
it's-
mind mucking up stuff. That's not good.
I don't know. It's not with the money. It's just if I get low than 10 like that. 19.
An interesting proposition. That doesn't feel to me of equal value. Balancing things out.
I don't think a memory would do. Maybe perhaps never being able to go to a certain location again.
I mean that, but also I still think a memory of a location. But then, if we gave you a memory of a location, would you take every memory that is associated with that location?
Who knows?
That seems like a lot, and seems very fair.
What if it's a name for a name? As in the name of the location.
That's difficult. Such big things are hard to balance out. Becomes tricky when you're twisting the minds of more than a few.
I've got a question for you. These so-called ideas you have that where the coven could be. Do you have memories of them? Have you been to those locations before?
Once.
Then it would be fair to trade a memory for a memory.
Ah, yes. But my life and the life of my city is not resting upon my memory.
And sadly, I don't think Lily has many locations that she's been to. Nor have I, and
I would not give up Wood End,
no.
but I worry that if I choose to forget Bloomgrove or Ridgewater, I won't remember the people from there, or any memories I would have had. Just seems tricky
Yeah, but
to
I understand that.
quantify.
I understand that it seems tricky, but to me, it seems that you are sacrificing those. Seems fair because you're also potentially saving a bunch of lives for just forgetting about a few, but it also feels like you're not prepared yet to sacrifice.
I'm just still not 100% sure what I am sacrificing. You know, you don't miss something until it's gone.
Yeah.
But I guess I wouldn't know that it's gone. Would people still remember me? I just don't remember them.
As I said, dealing with things that deal with more than a few people get tricky. Forgetting your childhood home is not something that can easily be achieved.
So back to square one then.
Simple exchange. Time for me, time saved for you. Or if you prefer, a more muddled look at your memories for some direct knowledge. If someone wanted to take a permanent -1 to history.
What's everyone's history on?
That's 2.
Mine's 2 as well. But you pride yourself on history checks, don't you?
Intelligence. Mine's already -1. I just have +2 from my proficiency.
How often does Yorna use a history check? Usually 4. Could I go without?
As you're all kind of standing there deliberating, she walks over to one of the fruit trees at the side of the room here. Just lifts that hand up and just kind of catches a leaf as it falls. This place will be dreary again in no time. What will it be? Or you can find it on your own. You're more than welcome. Who knows? Could be quick.
Would you make a deal to show us where the coven is for exchange? For exchange that Strider can't enter his home again.
How am I going to enforce that?
Oh, you could always, I don't know, put like a seal on me that hurts me if I try. I don't know. That's your realm.
I need something tangible.
I will give you my knowledge.
Oh, yes?
I think we have exhausted this one, I think, for options.
Yeah.
And I think I'll be alright.
Very well.
But I want very detailed location.
Your choice. Description or images?
Does only Yorna get to see the images?
She's the only one giving anything up.
Maybe descriptions then, because then I can describe it to you guys.
That clawed hand kind of lifts off the ground.
It's just not to hag. It's just for history checks, correct?
Yeah.
Not like
Just a -1 to all history
Intelligence.
checks.
I'll do it.
Why?
I have enough to spare, and if it's imagery, we can get more from it, and I might have better.
Maybe with your
situations.
abilities it'll...
Yeah. I might be able to find locations a bit better.
I owe you one. I owe you one.
No.
No.
Reaches out that big hand, and again you feel those clawed fingers pierce through your skin, that same searing pain as Fey magic erupts around your arm. Images or description?
Images.
Images.
Get your pens out, boys. I actually don't have any pens right now.
Yeah, take mine. Yeah.
I mean, but
Look, this one
Pencil.
matches the Strider vibes.
it does actually make sense.
You see a flash of rock and slate. A crumbling side of some sort of natural buildup. Tunnels that grow damp, warm, and humid. A stench of rot and decay. You see a vast, open expanse, lit by crystal and fungus on both floor and ceiling. Give me a perception check to see how much you get.
Nat 20.
That 20.
You're amazing.
For a 30.
30. Daddy.
That ceiling above you, this is a cavern. A vast open space. Rooted to that ceiling, you can see twisted, ancient stonework, like a city was built from the top of this cavern downwards. The roofs of buildings are pointing towards you. Further through this cavern, you can see a large arena, half crumbled, also mounted into the ceiling above you. Like this entire place had flipped upside down and sunk into the earth. You see a large, gleaming crystal made of swirling liquid silver. This glassy exterior.
Can I see if the liquid silver... I just want to... Another type of vibe check. But I want to see if my dragon's blood is feeling weird about it.
Give me a nature check.
$25.
25. There's something draconic about it, but it's not from a creature. In that same cavern space, that humid smell, damp, rotting. Another part of this place, filled with fungus, overgrown like a plague in this place, and a tear in the fabric of reality within that cavern. Let's see, vague description from Ada to go with it. Peering too deep into that is what made Mabel lose her mind. You feel those talon-like fingers pull from your arm. You expect to see blood flung to the floor, but instead it's just that searing pain as she pulls back.
I just realized you're the right person to do that because I would have had disadvantage on all of those ability checks. I didn't think about that. I thought it was just going to come at me, but...
-1.
Yep.
Damn. What does that put you on?
+5.
Jesus. Alrighty.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Not much
yeah,
of a loss.
you pried on it, so I was like, oh. But I mean, it's still +5.
Advantage when it matters.
Do with that what you will.
You're gonna have to let me think about this for a while, guys. That one was... It's gonna take a while to explain what the fuck I saw. And yeah, you're gonna have to let me...
It's alright, take a moment.
Like a better term, you're gonna have to let me cook.
Alright, you can cook.
If I didn't say it before, I hate the Fae. Round, no. As Strider backs away to kind of let everyone else take the lead for the next conversation, he is just gonna tear his sleeve off because of the amount of rooms.
Damn,
that
so many
are-
tattoos.
Yeah, just this full sleeve at this point.
Alright.
So then I think maybe
For a cure.
for the cure, we limit it to just us three, which is a little bit less.
Certainly.
And what kind of something would you want for that? Probably something to do with health.
Cure you of your affliction, give you the strength and the fortitude to continue on, to not be absorbed into whatever it is that Mabel has going on. Fortitude for fortitude. Strength for strength. As she takes a little bit of time to explain, offers to you, for each dose of cure that you want, someone will have to give up a hit dice that you can use on your short rests to heal.
Permanently?
Yes.
Ah!
For each dose of the cure, someone will have to sacrifice a hit dice from your hit dice pool.
How much we got?
So it can't
7.
be like if we give it to
Wait, how do you have 7?
Daria, for example.
Because we're level
If
7.
you want to pay with your blood for a cure for her, you're more than welcome.
But like they can't pay with theirs.
They're not here to make a
Yeah.
deal.
Well, I mean, if you guys are all for fairness, we can each do a hit die and call it a day.
Yeah, we can, I guess.
But you seem reluctant.
No, it's a fair deal, to be fair.
Don't want the chance to save your friends while you're here?
That's what I was gonna say.
You know, actually, I would give 2 up for Daria.
Very good.
Just in case. And then if she doesn't need it, maybe it'll help Elowin or one of the other ones that's too far gone. Wait. How does this work? You give us something physical, or it is something that you bestow?
Wouldn't be much of a granny if I couldn't hand out some candy.
Okay,
Ah,
good. Because then, if I don't need it, we can save it. And then it might be useful for something else.
Yeah. I think
It isn't like prescription. It could do other things in different scenarios.
Look, I'm going to give you a cure for as much as you're willing to pay. There's no small text at the bottom of this contract.
in
I
the fine print.
apologize. Then the short of it is I will give 2 hit die for 2 cures.
so. No, well, not to.
Mighty generous.
For myself. If I'm gonna kill this hag, well, I'm gonna need to be at full strength anyway.
2.
5 in total?
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing it for?
You,
I just offered that one though.
just in case.
What?
You put up a lot for me.
Yeah, but I don't mind sacrificing this. You might need what you have for things that you seem like you have personal matters that you wanted to ask.
It's fine.
I just don't want it to go to waste.
It's just hit points. Well, I hit die, not hit points.
It's just HP.
Plus, I have my Song of Rest. It's fine.
No, I'll do it.
What?
I'll sacrifice my hit points for myself.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Even though you got the lowest out of us 3 with the wounds.
Over the cure, I'll get back to normal. Hopefully. Actually, Yorna's asked before, but I didn't quite get your whole candy joke that
How
you're doing.
thick?
You'll give us something that comes with it, all right?
Indeed.
Yes.
Give me one then, if you can.
Okay.
How many do we have? I just don't want you giving up something that could potentially kill you after risking a lot to bring you back. You know?
Mm.
I'll give up 2
All right.
for myself.
So how many all up? 5 in total?
I believe so. 1, 2, 2.
Mm-hmm.
Very well.
1 for myself.
Strider, what's it going to be?
1.
All right, 4.
4. Final offer.
Mm-hmm.
That huge claw, each of her fingers almost the size of your forearm, just reaches 3 out, one for each of you to grab.
No.
Ow. That's
It's already on one arm.
You feel this shooting, searing pain that seems to connect the 3 of you for a moment, this immediate burst of connection, and then you begin to feel this queasiness wash over you, this nausea. You watch for a moment as her fingers become a bright, dark red that pushes up her arm, as you can feel blood being drawn from your bodies. The different tones of each of your blood mixing together for a moment, and she pulls away. You all kind of almost double over a little bit, your vision blurry, and she opens her hand and is holding 4 small wrapped peppermints.
Literal candy.
Red and white swirled, plastic wrapped. Eat them wisely.
Thank you.
I was gonna get 2 just in case we got injured again,
don't let the rat eat them.
but I
Oh, shoot.
decided if I got 2 just in case, then maybe I would play it safe, but we should get her the first time.
What is it that you humans say? Don't fuck it up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is a saying that we have.
Did you turn our blood into this candy, or did you take some for yourself, as you say?
Unfortunately, there's nothing left over in such a hefty transaction.
Good.
You all are very good for business. Is there anything else you will require?
Well, I feel like I got exactly what I wanted and needed out of this. I think I'm done.
I've lost too much to bother asking for anything.
Your arm looks decorated.
Yeah.
Are you able to scry on people?
I can take a look.
My father.
Is he
Little
alive?
peep into the looking glass. A curious thought. What would you give up for such a vision?
If he is alive, time with him.
Curious thought. Giving up time with him to be able to see him from afar. I think I can make that work.
Inside check. Has she come up with an evil plan?
Give me an
face?
insight check.
Nat 20.
Nat
again.
20. She seems to be curious as to what that will potentially alter or interrupt, or just to see what that exchange does.
Strider puts his hand on Lily's shoulder.
Hmm.
Are you sure? Something like your father's time with your father could easily be taken as either memories with him or even his time being alive if he was alive. It could be anywhere from death to pleasant memories if there is any. I know you seem to have your quarrels, isn't the right word when it comes to your family and where you're from. But family is important even if it's negative, and you just need to be careful what you promise with someone of Granny's caliber. Just don't want you making a mistake you might regret.
I wouldn't be making this choice if changes already happened, and they haven't. So this is my choice.
I'm not gonna stop you. I just wanted to let you know what you might miss or might run into later down the line.
I'm able to choose how much time.
Curious. What would you be willing to offer?
A week.
Yes. I think that will suffice.
You can show me if he's alive or not.
A deal. She reaches her hand out. You feel again that piercing, shooting pain, this bit of fey magic. And as your eyes open, while she is still gripping your hand with this monstrosity, that small, kind of malnourished hand comes out, and she just holds up this orb. The two of you just see this burning white sphere. But Lily, looking into this, you can see, as you give up a week of time, whatever that may mean, you peer into a week of your father's. You can see he would almost be unrecognizable to you if you didn't know who you were looking at. This is a man in tattered robes, ripped and fraying, mud gathered around the bottom of his long flowing robe. The greens and blues are muddied browns. A glasses frame that is half bent, and the glass lens itself cracked up the side. You can see what was once a spell book at his side seems to be something that has been kicked through the dirt one too many times. And he is in a place that seems familiar to you. Whether you've been there yourself or heard stories of it, this hustle bustle surrounded by tents, all manner of life around him seems to be in Nexa, a trade city in the south of Lasivet. You see a flash and he's on a carriage, talking to someone at Dawnhammer, a small forging city on the hillside. You see a few knights on the trail with what little food the people he's traveling with can spare for him. You see from his carriage, looking out through cracked glasses, the looming tree of wood end coming into view. And as this series of images seems to catch up with time, it appears that he's maybe a couple of days outside of Argentum. Tattered, dirty, disheveled, with no men at his side, no one with him. That orb fills back into her hand removes from you. That pain seems to subside over a moment.
Insightful.
All right. I do think that's that now.
Brilliant.
What's our plan now?
Well, we need to get back to our plan as fast as we can.
We need to find a gate.
Actually,
Door.
may I pick your brains? Small thing.
Potentially.
What can you tell us about the verdant pools? It's a gateway back to the material plane.
A small thing.
Just, asking
Information
the
on how
locals.
to get home.
No, just asking the locals for just information, just random fun facts about the area.
Just to the northwest of here, depending on where we currently are. Could be a few days' travel or a week and a half.
What is the price to send 3 people back to the plane we're from?
Whoa.
I don't think I could get you all the way home, but I could get you a little closer to somewhere that could. But that would cost you time.
I see.
So that is what it costs me.
So many different dealings of your kind recently, I guess. It's interesting how different you all can be. If you can count the Night Hag as one of you anymore, probably not.
How reminiscent.
Those memories you showed me of the area of vision,
Indeed.
were they yours?
Yes.
What made you not look into the tear?
I had already seen Mabel go insane. I was just trying to figure out what happened.
Random question. Some of us need rest.
Yes, you all look like shit.
Thanks. I don't suppose you have a spot for us to maybe just have a quick lie down, or is that dangerous here?
You must be the first people to ever ask for somewhere to rest here. Most people want to run out in a hurry with their tail between their legs, but you're more than welcome to stay a while.
Well, it's more cozy and warm in here than it is out there.
Certainly.
Even though I obviously don't trust you, and I would prefer to be out in the cold than in warmth around you, we have been probably your best customers that you've had yet.
Of course. Well, for a while.
Said someone's ordered more things than we have.
Things of greater magnitude that have given me more in return, yes.
Must have been very desperate people.
Or hungry.
Or hungry. Okay, well, if we do rest here, is there like beds or a couch?
Yes, I can find you somewhere to sleep.
All right, I just want to sleep on a bed and not on a bunch of twigs.
As long as you promise that we can leave safe and sound, of course.
Of course.
And my understanding is that we are all here on good terms.
I'm not some evil being. You're the one that came in here with demands. I've simply adhered to your requests.
All right,
I have been nothing but a gracious host.
indeed.
Question for DM.
Yeah.
Well, I've been sitting here chatting about. Strider has been a bit quiet in the back for this whole last bit. You say I would be able to get a read like I normally do with creatures from my book.
Yeah, totally. Give me.
Oh man.
I'll let you decide if that's investigation or insight.
With that arm.
Probably insight,
No.
just since it's a lot more conversation based studying. Yeah. Oh my god, I didn't even see that one. It's gonna be shit either way.
No.
12.
12. Get the sense that while her capabilities hold a lot of weight, her combat prowess alone might not be astronomical. But you get the sense that she's probably on par with Mabel as you fought Mabel.
Yeah.
But there's also a young adult red dragon,
Yeah,
whatever you want to call it, in the room.
Giants outside.
Yeah. It draws her strength from the people around her a little bit.
Well,
My suck.
I guess we'll rest here then.
And maybe we want to try these candy for the road.
Unless you wish to sleep without them.
I'd rather not. Does it smell like a regular peppermint? I'm just genuinely curious.
Yeah, it has a very peppermint-like smell to it.
Is it your choice to make it peppermint, or does it just how it is?
Creative liberty.
Nice.
When
Lily,
you do your French cooker.
Lily and Yorna, you place them in your mouth. They smelled like peppermint,
Oh.
but they don't taste like it. This is a mix of like rubbing alcohol meets nettles. That's very like earthy meets chemical. It feels like it's almost eating into your mouth. The instinct to throw it up is immense. But it doesn't take long. A peppermint would take a few minutes to get through, but this seems to melt in almost a matter of maybe 20-25 seconds. And you feel this, not a warmth, but just something intrusive moving through your system.
You guys seem disgusted.
It's nice. You should try it.
What tastes worse, Strider's potion or this?
This,
It'd
definitely.
be, yeah, this might just net out Strider's
Ooh.
potions.
I think it is worse than your potions.
I'll be the judge of that.
Enjoy.
I don't add that. I'll crunch it.
Yeah, bite down on it,
10 seconds.
let it go through, and it's about the same intensity of an experience as those full vials of blood. You feel almost that heartbeat in your chest as something else washes through your system. This discomfort, almost like a slight nausea that all of you experience at once. This kind of inability to stand straight, like you're not quite sober.
Damn.
Yeah, it's definitely above my potions, but I've had something probably as bad before.
It's pungent.
Last time I had something like this, my hair turned white.
Oh.
Same.
It's the same.
You know, Strider, I think you grew
don't
a
need that.
slight extra one singular hair
One thing
whiter.
there. After the day that we've had, yeah,
Listen, my hair can't get any whiter.
that's true. But if it could, it would have.
Yeah, probably.
It would become transparent.
Ooh.
Isn't all hair kind of transparent a little bit?
Yes, but I was thinking more like that ghostly figure that we met that helped us get here.
Oh,
Your ward?
Harold.
Yes, either or.
Harold.
An interesting fellow he was.
All right, I'm ready to hit the sack. I don't know where the beds are.
I'm sure someone gave up a life of luxury somewhere. Let's go find somewhere to sleep.
I see.
Oh, I forgot.
Oh, I love sleeping on someone else's past possessions.
Lily, Did you get any, did you feel a tug at all when you were going towards, the hag's whole mind control thing?
A weird, a bunch of voices, screaming and stuff, in a face. But there was, no eyes or nose or mouth. It was creepy looking.
So a head without a face?
Mm-hmm. And it was, just smooth.
Ooh.
That's weird. Have I heard of a creature like this before?
Give me a history check.
Shit.
Can I try and, think if it's, the hag's face or something else?
Yeah, do you want to give him advantage, or do you want to make, an insight check separate?
You give it.
Yeah.
Do I already get advantage? Faithing undead.
Yes, actually. So you can roll a separate insight if you'd like.
Oh, yeah. Get it, people.
What's my insight?
I'll be a 15 in history because of the -1.
9.
No.
Yeah.
You're unsure whether this is the hag or something else that sits above her. With a 15, you're not able to recall anything that fits that description.
Well, I know we most likely don't need watches, but I'll have the first watch.
As you all go to leave that central chamber, as you're leaving, you can see those fruit trees around the edge of this room seem to almost decay a little bit, rot a little bit. The fruit looks like it grows overripe in a matter of moments, the leaves themselves all kind of falling from the tree. You notice this ever so faint, there's no breeze in here, but they're all kind of flowing in Yorna's direction as she's leaving the room, as this orchard begins to die here.
As the others head off, I want to turn to the hag.
She's just kind of petting that dragon.
While you guys find a place, am I allowed to... Is it okay for me to have a chat with the dragon?
Certainly, if you can get anything out of her.
And I'll strike a conversation when the others leave. Thanks for helping free our friend from the ice cocoon that they were in. I guess it's part of me, and I don't know if that's the human or the dragon blood I have running through my veins. Feels, I don't know, sad looking at you. Not pity or anything negative, but just wish there was a way, I guess, for you to be free. I had a favor to ask, if you're able to.
Maybe.
It's gotta sound weird, coming from a stranger, perhaps, but if you knew me, it would not sound weird at all. The blood I have running through my veins is from a dragon that I did not fight or defeat. I found, let's say, I found it dead and used its blood to try and enhance myself. I wonder if there's a day where I might need a vial. Could I have a vial of your blood?
Give me an animal handling check. This creature hardly has the sentience of a person.
21.
21. kind of gives you this look. Her eyes are, as you would imagine, draconic eyes, that vertical slit in a... They are a bright orange yellow in the color, but any dragon that you've ever seen usually has this dancing kaleidoscope of imagery in their eyes. This is just this kind of dull, faded yellow. Okay.
File, not just leaning against the skin.
It kind of like hooks one of its scales on the side of that and just kind of gives a small tug. Just in this. It begins to fill.
So hold it and look at the color. Does it fully seem like draconic blood, or almost like something was taken from it?
It's definitely still draconic blood, but it's not a red dragon of strength. It would be a near boiling temperature as it came out of the body. This is just like a cup of hot water, kind of in temperature. You can hold it without it burning your hand, but there's still a warmth to it, but much less intense than you would expect from a red dragon.
When it's filled, I'll put the lid on, put it away, and I'll pull out a full vial. It's only fair. Don't know what it would do, and I don't know if it would do much. But if you ever think you're in danger here, or want to try escape, or perhaps you see us again and we're in danger here, and you wish to help, maybe drink this, and I will hide it under one of its scales. And it's the black dragon's blood.
Okay.
Something a bit more potent that might kickstart something.
All right.
That's wild.
Tuck that in. Leave that with the dragon.
I know that you might not know this, but a lot of dragons can be evil in nature, maybe not good. But I don't believe in fighting things that haven't done something wrong, in which you haven't, and you seem to be struggling. So I believe you can still make a decision when the time is right.
You are good.
I appreciate it.
It just kind of sinks back into these trees that are just shedding their leaves like crazy.
Just I feel a little bit bad about the trees.
Why don't you make some more?
Like, Yorna ain't ready for that.
Alright. You all head off, wandering these halls for a while, seeing a few of these various rooms, things that people had given up. Careers, homes, families, artistic prospect, futures or pasts, and people that seem to be living their lives out in some of these rooms. And eventually you come to a noble's, somehow within this tree, most of a noble's home. Vast kitchens and bedrooms and dining areas. Like this maze is near infinite within here. But you find essentially guest bedrooms with some of the nicest silks that you will have ever seen a bed done with. Familiar to very few that have lived in luxury. But here, for the first time in a while, you find a good night's rest, and for many of you, possibly one of the most comfortable sleeps of your life.
Amazing.
Did Definitely the most comfortable sleep in a long, long time.
Oh, yeah.
Better than the couch.
As you all settle down for rest, your eyes drifting off, your exhausted bodies letting you drift to sleep. That chemical taste boiling in the back of your throat a little bit as you fall asleep. Each of you feel that same sensation of entering one of Mother's nightmares. The sensation like you're waking up in a familiar place, somewhere that you've been. You get like a half-second flash of an image where this dream, this vision, this memory would have started, and then you just feel like you're falling and falling and falling and falling until even that version of yourself drifts into a sound and peaceful sleep. As you all drift off in comfort, the curse leaving your bodies. Any levels of exhaustion you have, any missing maximum hit points you have, all restored. And everyone levels up.
Yes, we survived.
Oh my god.
Ah.
I have more than 45 hit points at level 7.
Who wants to roll some more?
Yeah, already.
Love to.
Mm.
So this will be my first level in Druid.
Then you should go first.
Mm.
Oh shoot! What? I think my hit die for Druid is different. I think it's a
A
D8.
D8, I believe.
Should be.
I need to keep this separate. I imagine, like in terms of like hit die pool.
Yeah.
It'll be 6D, whatever your fighter is now. Because losing one.
She lost 2, correct?
Oh, 2.
Yeah. So
5, whatever fighter.
Yeah.
yeah, and
So you'll
then
have 5d10 and 1d8 for your hit dice pool.
that sounds right.
Go ahead and roll your d8. And add all your shit to it.
Yeah. Your con. then
Your
plus
con
2.
and then +2 for tough.
My con and +2 for tough.
It's,
plus
man, you must get some
5.
cool stuff at first level,
Right,
Druid.
plus
Surely.
6.
Spells and
plus
stuff.
Yeah, you get
con.
spellcasting.
Do you get surplus at first level for Druid?
No.
Not
No,
yet.
second.
No.
Oh,
3.
yeah, that's
So
what it does.
so +5.
Yeah.
Lucky, getting the surplus at the
Come
pool is so
on.
big.
Middle 4.
No,
That's fine. What's that, 9 total?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Damn.
Yeah.
81.
You won.
Mm.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'm cooking.
I believe Blood Hunter is a D10.
I believe so.
What's your thing?
I mean, that's what we've been rolling on. So I hope it's a d10.
It's the same as Ranger.
Yeah, 1d10.
All right. Blood Hunter, here we go.
You need con?
Huh?
You got con?
Yeah, of course.
Was that it?
Really, it was a 2.
Oof.
Yeah. That's alright. Plus, it was good I was distracted while rolling because Ripley keep asking about con while I'm before I've even done
Yeah,
rolling.
that's what it was.
Plus 4, which is still alright.
Nice.
Not great, but 64.
With the good.
64.
64.
Nice.
And for Lillian.
D8 plus 3. You got 3. So plus 6.
Nice.
Puts me at 71.
Pretty good.
Can I have a white ball marker?
I need it
Where
after.
all my stuff going?
Okay. Yeah, so Yorna
It's
will
on my whiteboard.
overnight
Give it
seemingly adopt the secret language of the druids.
Whoa.
And we'll pick
yeah.
up some spell casting as the orchard and tree around you wither, and the magic that had been used to create those hairs channeled into you. And we'll take a quick break here so you guys can figure your shit out,
Nice.
and then we'll jump back into it. Having made your deals, being cured of your ailment, and heading off for a sound night's rest. As each of you comes to in your own little separate chambers within this portion of Granny Ada's grotto, is there anything anyone does in that morning? Any visual changes anyone wants to fill us in on? Any difference in anyone?
Yes.
Yes.
It's written down spell. Overnight, Lily's appearance changes as she was encased in ice and also died. While in the Feywilds, she has frostbite scars that are like purplish blue hue that are slightly glowing as she is now Fey touched. And her hair is like also like a slight blue hinge.
It's fun.
I'm gonna have to draw a new character.
We'll get there at some point.
Yeah.
Yay.
And for Yorna, she looks well rested, but that's not the only thing you notice.
Wow.
There is a sparkle in her eyes, and you think, oh, yeah, it's because she got a good night's rest. But there is now almost flecks of gold in her eyes now that, if you recall, that my father also had similar eyes to me, or like now, with the gold flecks in the center where the color is. Just a slight little tinge to having the powers back.
Little hint at the power.
Little hint of the powers. Yeah, but other than that, it's just still a plain old Yorna.
For once. Nothing.
Nice.
I will say that the almost tattoo sleeve going up is just now like almost. This part would be a lot of branches and like leaves going up like the fingertips, while like the main branch going up, and like you would see kind of how a lot of people draw like the roots going into the ground is where it ends here, and it like has a bit of roots to the chest.
Huge, big proper sleeve of a thing. Nice. Okay. Each of you feeling reasonably well rested at identical times in the morning in this weird kind of chamber that you're in, this life of luxury that someone had clearly given up. You each hear the small ringing of a bell. And hear the door open as a small cart, a full high elven individual dressed in a dark black suit, into each of your rooms pushes in this small trolley, steaming tea, coffee, scones, jams. Your breakfast. As each of you has a different high elven butler into your room in the morning here, something that someone had given up. Would you like anything?
Yes, please. I'll take the crumpets. Honey looks nice. Tea.
Of course. Heads out. Anyone grabbing anything as they enter their rooms?
I'm unsure if you perhaps actually are living or have a personality.
I'm not sure.
All right. Then do you take offense to things?
No.
Then you can leave.
Of course. He takes the cart and heads out.
Then
Now,
I will have
stuff
some
that-
ration.
I'm gonna have this crumpet.
Will they take anything from the cart as it enters her room?
For a cup of tea.
Takes his leave. Eventually you all kind of find yourselves in the corridor, breakfast or ration in hand, just kind of looking at each other in the hallway here.
That kind of made me uncomfortable.
Yeah, I just told mine to leave.
I try not to think about it too much because what's done is done.
I mean, for the fact that it kind of reminds me of my past.
Yeah. Well, the only unsettling thing about it for me was that this is how someone used to live, and it kind of feels weird to live someone else's life, but
I just don't want to be woken up by a random elf offering you
well,
shit.
you seem like You would not take well to that kind of thing, I have
Nope.
to say. Not quite in the cards for you.
Sadly not. You're doing alright, Lily? After finally having a sleep.
I got these scars on my arms and legs now.
Does it hurt? Oh,
No,
well, I mean, that's good. I mean, maybe keep an eye on it just in case, but...
Guess you can count them as badges of honor, or...
I was going to say it's probably, if anything,
like
just
war
marks
scars.
of what has happened.
Yeah, and a reminder not to let it happen again.
It won't happen again. I won't let
Why are you
it.
saying it like it was my fault?
No, I'm just saying, like, it's a reminder of the events that have transpired.
Don't worry, Lily. We'll keep you safe this time.
We'll kill the hag. Not that one. The other one.
What?
Strider just nods before Lily can say the other one.
What do you all do as you congregate here in the hallway?
Did we decide on... No, we decided against being teleported closer
Yeah, well,
because
find
of the
out
time thing.
on our own way.
So in that case, yes, we will be on our way.
Anything else you wish to do in the grotto before you leave?
I would like a private talk with Granny if it's possible.
Okay. As you all make plans heading through the hallways, you find yourself back in that central chamber. Good morning. I trust you all slept well.
Very well. Thank you for your accommodation.
Anything more you wish from me? You all seem to be in a bit of a rush.
No, we are definitely finished. We will be heading out shortly.
Lily would just like walk up to her and she'll take off the ring. A parting gift. As it has sentimental value.
And in return,
You can keep it.
I won't say no to that. What is next for your band of merry men?
Find a way home.
Verdant pools,
The verdant pools.
which according to my map,
Yeah. Your map.
it should be before Steaming Peaks, but I don't know about that.
Steaming peaks and then verdant pools.
Don't suppose you want to point us in the right direction.
I don't know where you're going to pop out. I'm anywhere I need to be.
That's it.
Oh, right.
Well, I'm sure we'll find some forest dwellers of some sort that will help us. We've made plenty of friends on our travels so far.
I'm curious. You know, they have a dusk and dawn.
Are those her favorite words? I'm curious. Random question.
Oh.
Yes,
Why'd
you
you
could
bring it
say
up?
that. I have a lot of questions.
Continue.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Stop laughing.
No, it's just, she got you there, that's all.
Anyway,
Yes.
the dusk and dawn.
The courts?
Yes. Where do you sit in all of that, or do you just kind of avoid it?
I try to stay out of it, but if someone's willing to pay enough, I'll help wherever I can. I tend not to get mixed up in politics.
Right.
Oh,
Should we go? You look like you have something you want to say.
oh no, I do, but I was just curious about that you didn't have a stand-in. I thought you'd have like an answer like, yeah, there should be a balance between both of them or something.
They're both fucked up.
Yeah, fair enough.
Good to know.
Demons and devils, dusk and dawn, it's all the same.
I've got a question for you.
Wait.
Simple, as we've said many times.
It does seem to be a running theme amongst your group.
I just want.
You're a very new experience, let's just say.
You mentioned that adversaries we are. in a way.
Yes, I suppose.
Have you actually met someone like me?
There's a question.
I'm just curious if I'm the first to ever meet face to face.
I was smart enough not to have any personal run-ins.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's an accomplishment of some sort. I'm sure we'll meet again, though.
I certainly hope so. It's been nice having such wonderful company.
Well, we'll be on our way. And I will lean past and look at the dragon, and I'll... Bye.
Charcoal seems to have taken a liking to you all.
Well, I feel a little bit sorry for seeing such a powerful creature, I guess. How they are.
She's all that's left of a flame, I suppose.
All right, let's go.
Yeah.
And I start heading towards the door.
The giants will escort you past the Yetis. From there, you're on your own.
Oh, thank you. Yetis were following us for a while.
They get hungry.
They looked hungry.
As we get to the door...
I'm sorry, Yetis.
Oh, yeah, you missed that.
Yeah,
The Yetis.
they were like trying to follow us when we were
Trailed
carrying
behind us, all icky, sharp teeth, claws.
them. We didn't fight them.
Oh. So then how'd you get past them?
Strider scared them away.
You ooga booga them?
Dragon eyes. They're very beast-like. They know, top of the food chain kind of thing.
Right.
I'll let everyone else leave the door first.
As you all leave, go to exit this chamber. All of those trees are now devoid of any leaves or fruit. The branches themselves seem to have twisted back into the walls. Almost like the trees are now this big, natural arch that seems to collect at the top, as if it were always just a carved wooden fixture with no life. This whole chamber feels very much like a naturally formed wooden cathedral in many ways. This big tall ceiling with big grown arches, but a little more devoid of life, a little colder than it was the night before.
As people go through the door, I will go out last, but I'll speak to Granny but not look at her. One of the first lessons you get taught when you embark on learning what it means to do what I do is going out and surviving on your own for a night, and you learn very quickly that even the dullest of flames can become ablaze with the right fuel. And I'll close the door.
You just hear this. As the door shuts, this brief kind of chuckle. You get the sense that she's enjoyed your visit.
Well, I didn't think we'd ever end up getting escorted by giants, let alone undead ones.
You step out of the main hall. The doors close behind you. Back immediately from a warm kind of hearth side temperature to freezing blizzard. Sure enough, you look to your left and right, and these two flesh pulled from their faces, half skeletal, undead giants looming over you, kind of looking down as you exit the door. Their heads kind of just snap back into place and start walking ahead of you.
Follow the leader.
Back to the walk-in again.
Yeah.
Did you not get warm clothing like us? And I have my poncho ready and...
I didn't know where it went.
Check your bag.
Can I check on Rat?
Yeah,
Oh, God.
he's not in there.
Oh.
I can't remember. Did we dump him? What?
You right there?
I don't know where the rat's gone. Oh well.
Probably will show up eventually.
Maybe someone check their bag.
Check my bag.
No rat.
I swear to God.
Cupcake.
No rat.
I thank God.
I don't recall. I thought he was stuck in there, in my bag.
He was in there when you entered Ada's.
Well, he might have just gone out to explore.
No, I think maybe crossing into Ada's threshold maybe did something funny to him. I suppose he was summoned out of nowhere by you, no? With the wild magic? Is that not how it happened?
Yeah, but I don't know.
Maybe that's how it happened. Just going into Ada's domain maybe reverted it. What are you eating?
Maybe cupcake.
Oh. Oh!
It was in my bag.
Oh, that's right.
It's smooshed
Oh,
for some reason. It's pretty yum.
it looks good.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Just impressed as well. Once more.
It's
Alright.
a sweet treat.
I follow the giants.
You head off back out into the frozen wastes. Cupcake in hand and warm weather gear on, pushing back out. Bit of time goes by and you come to those big stone pillars that seem to sway ever so gently in the breeze. Those clumps of fur clung to it. The first yeti to see you all kind of jumps to the ground before it sees the giants next to you and tries to clamber back up
Oh.
as one of them just takes this half decrepit great axe and tosses it and just into the back of this creature, just red across the pillar. The giant walks over to the pillar and just punches it and grabs the axe as it falls. He goes back to walking along at your side.
I feel both safe and unsafe at the same time.
Yeah. Well, at least they're undead, so I'm sure they're stuck under command.
Onwards.
I'd like to activate my crimson right on my blade.
Totally. Mixing with the frost of your surroundings.
Forget I take more damage now.
Yeah. One.
Yeah.
32.
Boom.
Bam, bam,
You
bam.
continue on for a bit down this chilled cobble path, eventually coming to the end of these pillars, leaving the yetis behind you. And before you, a vast expanse of frozen, snowy plains. No idea where you are. No idea what way is forward. What's the plan?
Well, I actually think we made good time getting to Granny when we were really set on our goal. I feel like we,
You to have that same mindset.
yeah, like let's think about how important it is for us to get this peppermint to Daria. you
I
know?
mean, that's what I'm hanging on to.
So I guess hang on to it as much as you can. And what direction did where it was northwest, I think, of.
So, southeast. Because everything's backwards here.
Yeah, I just thought that direction was given to us in this world, though. So then it wouldn't be backwards.
No, this is this.
I just thought the Granny said northwest from where we were last time.
Did she?
She said northwest from here while you were in her abode.
Oh no.
Directions.
I just
suck.
overheard
I should
that.
have asked for a map.
But as you're looking at a blanket of frosted white, what way is northwest and what way is southeast?
I would like to see. What's the sky like right now?
Besides the vague blizzard The exact same that it's been the whole time. A starry, dark expanse with no moon.
Is there a South Star?
A North Star?
Hell,
Reverse.
give me a survival check to see if you've been able to pick up some star patterns while you've been here in the Fae.
Hell
Yeah, I've been studying.
Oh.
Yo, what's that?
That's gonna be pretty good.
What star sign?
25.
25. You do recall a star that burnt quite brightly to kind of the southeastern direction as you were traveling for most of the time. You could reverse engineer that and be on your way.
I will do that.
My map is wrong. We do go northwest then.
Alright,
We'll just make
So you're heading northwest?
Yeah.
Okay.
amendments here.
I would also like to drink a mutagen.
Mm.
I'm gonna drink.
Look.
Alcohol.
Strider, now's not the time.
I'm gonna drink.
Yeah, I'm gonna drink
Clang.
Percepted again, and so I get advantage on all wisdom checks.
Yeah, nice.
Just because that one seems like it'll be handy.
Okay.
I don't know if you know Yorna, since I don't really know what your room looked like, but your eyes have become even more special than mine.
Oh,
They got like,
They got pizzazz in them.
pizzazz.
I would have said like flakes maybe, but pizzazz is
Oh,
pretty nice
God.
sounding.
Gold flakes
Purple.
in my eyes.
No, it's gold.
Gold flakes, like my father.
I recall looking at Yorna's father. Yes.
I like to think Strider said that.
I saw him from really far away most of the time.
Well, I mean, I know that my father has gold flecks in his eyes,
That's
and
it.
I know I did not have gold flecks in my eyes.
Do all your siblings?
Some of us do. I think I would have to check the art, but one of us, there's some like lighter eyes in the family
see.
as well. I just can't remember.
I just wanted to know if it was connected to like the druid spellcasting like essence, or is it like a genetic
Well,
thing?
I think most druids have some like physical change. Some people, might get like not a beauty mark, but like the small little alterations that kind of.
They could get a horn maybe,
I
like
don't know about
a
that one.
hoof maybe, like.
But the hair changing is also, something not unheard of. Some people get a slight red
Oh,
to the hair. Very subtle. Some people don't even get it. Some it's like, it kind of depends.
I don't think I could imagine you with different color hair. I think
I
it's just
would
because if you were like, you could always imagine someone what they look like with white hair. But since you're like got a blank canvas, it's weird to imagine like a different color on it.
Well, I'm not going to dye it because I quite like my hair how it is.
That's right, and also damages hair pretty badly.
Yours is a little different, Lily. It's
I
bluer.
noticed. It's
You
quite bluish.
you like it or you don't like it?
I don't mind it.
Looks good. I'm trying to picture it to like figure out what color it is.
It's more like a dark blue hue.
So it's still brown, but I
Yeah,
think
still
it's
brown.
got like a bluish tint to it.
Yeah, teeny.
Well, for dying, I guess having a few hair change and cold white scars a pretty decent plus instead of
That
reverse.
means that I am the only one who hasn't gone through a hair change. Imagine.
Well,
What if it was
what if
since
your hair's,
birth?
yeah, what if like because you didn't have powers, your hair was white and now it's slowly gonna
My
turn.
mum's hair is white.
Yeah, but maybe you're gonna look more like your dad.
What if you had your dad's hair color instead and it turned
What if
white?
it goes brown?
Yeah, you got his eyes now, right? So like,
I don't want it to go brown. I like it white.
do you see a little bit of brown at the like top, like the
The
root?
roots.
Well, listen, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. But, let's not.
Well, we're lucky we
Dwell
didn't
on
call ourselves like the Silver Blades and then everyone's hair changed to completely not white, so that'd be quite awful.
The white blades.
The white blades.
The white.
Let's not.
Oh boy.
Let's not do that.
Actually, take that back and we'll move on.
Okay. As you continue on for this first day's travel outside the grotto, as you are traveling through the frigid cold, trying to find your direction, what kind of rolls are you making? It'll be survival by default, but if you are trying to will something to happen, we can change what kind of skill you're using.
With my newfound druidic powers, I would like to hone in on the, I guess, nature of the environment. Like, do I sense, a non-snowy environment, like a more verdant, pooly environment, forest or whatever?
I'm gonna use the South Star and make our way from that direction.
Lily doing anything special or just trekking along?
I want to try and call out to any fays that are nearby and try and ask for help.
Okay. Then we'll go survival for you, nature for you, and either nature or arcana for Lily. Your pick.
Solid roll.
Oh, yeah.
It just happened 8 times. I haven't counted. You took my dice. Why would you steal it?
Why would you steal it?
That is a 28 for a natural 20.
22.
And 16.
Okay. You trek along for a day's travel. There's a point during that day where you kind of scrape through the edge of a forest. These big 100-foot tall pine trees covered in snow kind of weave through the outskirts of that. And as the day sort of comes to an end in this icy expanse, looking over to your left, where, had you not quite picked the right path today, you can see somewhere in the distance what looks like snowy mountains and flickers of blue light that seem to burn and then kind of disappear into the blizzard every so often. Had your travel not been so swift, you might have ended up trekking through whatever that is.
Yeah.
Kind of count yourselves lucky. And bunk down for a night.
Nice.
Did I happen to, maybe just on the travel, happen to come across any frost lichen, whatever?
Lichen.
Yeah, man.
Frost lychee.
That's usually right, huh?
Frost
Yeah,
lichen.
I should,
Like the frost berries.
while we're here.
Yeah. Okay, let me bring up the frost lichen.
Get some ingredients while we're around.
Yeah, give me a nature check while you're traveling along here.
12.
12. Traveling along for the day, although you managed to take the seemingly best path of travel for the day, the snowfall is too extreme to be able to find any plant life or lichen.
I can have first watch if need be. For any creatures.
I assume that when we stop, the frost giants stop.
Where
Like,
they go?
They
They're
left
gone already.
ages
they
ago.
left ages ago?
Yeah.
Sure, I wasn't.
They,
Like they only led us to the
End of
Yetis,
the Yetis.
like past the Yetis. and
That's
then
right.
it.
for the
That's,
first hour and a half of your travel.
Yep. All
It's
good.
okay, you're filling in with your map then.
I was trying to make heads or tails, and it still doesn't make sense. That's alright.
That's a Feywild for you.
I'll keep the orb and I'll say light and
Yeah.
float, and I'll leave that around as well.
Just enough. Bit of light around you. You can see maybe 80 feet out from camp before it just gets lost in snowfall. As it does, settle down for a night of cold, frigid rest. Go ahead and give me a perception check here.
Perception, he says. That is going to be. God, I nearly gave the lower number. I thought it was. I nearly read survival. This could be a 29.
Keep a bit of an eye out, and you're counting yourself lucky that there is this kind of ever-present snowfall, because there is enough light here that you would very quickly find yourself suffering from snow blindness if there wasn't enough falling around you, but there doesn't seem to be much of a day-night cycle here, as much of your travels. Looking up at that hillside as you sit there. These are snowy mountains off in the distance that you could have encountered today. Maybe half the height of the steaming peaks, but looking over there, you can see maybe every half hour a small flame flickers into life and dances around for 5 or 10 minutes before getting lost in the snow. Some unknown, ominous, natural phenomenon, potentially. But nothing dangerous seems to encroach on the camp. None of your friends troubled by nightmares. What I will, however, require from everyone, as you settle down for a rest, is a Constitution saving throw, as you're out here in the cold.
Ugh.
Uh-oh.
God damn it.
Why are you giggling?
Solid. Hear me out. Hear me out.
1.
What if this succeeded? A 5.
Cool.
22.
7.
Okay. The both of you take a level of exhaustion
Oof.
for sleeping out here in the
Where's
snow.
my exhaust?
Right.
Ah! Oh, how the turns have tabled.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
As you wake up a little wary, some of you not quite being able to get a full, proper sleep, but enough that you feel ready for the next day's journey. Pushing through the snow here. Again, survival checks, unless anyone's trying anything specific.
I'm gonna go same tactics before.
Yeah.
Just connecting with the environment around me to find
Totally.
a path forward.
My tactic ended up being survival anyway, so I just roll survival.
So that'd be nature then?
Yes, please.
And that's, if I drink my mutagen, that makes it just a normal roll.
If it would give you advantage on wisdom, then yes.
Yeah.
Survival.
Yeah. Which will be disadvantage with exhaustion.
Ah, shit.
22.
Okay.
Haha, the same roll.
Nice.
16.
Okay.
19.
19. Awesome. Even through the wariness, you locate that star. You continue to trek on, pushing through. Yorna, you can... This is a newfound sense to you, this connection to nature, and you're quickly getting the sense that this is probably the worst possible place to have this sprung on you, because that just nothing feels concrete. Trying to tap into the sense of what is around you, it's like, oh, there's warm this direction. No, it's gone. Oh, there's a freshness and a spring over, and it's gone. This constant shifting and changing around you as nothing is quite as it seems until you're there. But alas, seeing through that on this day's journey, you find yourselves pushing further and further in a northwestern direction. At about 1 in the afternoon on that day, looking out, the snow kind of subsiding just enough that you can see a little bit further, maybe a half mile out from where you are, another forest off to your right. and what looks like figures moving through that forest.
Can I see if I can tell what those figures are?
Give me a perception check.
Can I discern their size?
Give me a perception check.
18.
18.
Perception. 24.
24. At first, Strider kind of looks out and maybe wonders if these are more giants, but you kind of clock it for a moment and remember the scale of the trees that you'd seen the day before and kind of put things into comparison, and quite quickly you realize that these are like humanoid-sized individuals. You get the sense potentially it could be other seasonal elves, but from this distance it's hard to get a firm lock on them. They do seem to blend in with the environment some amount.
Could be worth being cautious and going over and asking for help.
Directions.
Yeah.
Help from the locals, I'm not against that.
If that's the case, though, I will pour my Crimsonite on my blade and my crossbow just in case.
Yeah, totally.
I hope it doesn't roll like that for damage, though. Oh. And... yeah. Right. Start walking towards them.
Mm. You start moving in the direction of these individuals that you're seeing. As you get a little bit closer, keeping an eye on it, you can see a few different sorts of individuals moving through here. Just kind of wandering through the forest there. There does seem to be some sort of a settlement or a gathering further in, but you quickly see signs of a few different types of folks. Among them, you do see what look of elven figures. Their hair, this almost ice-colored blue that ends in white tips. It is almost transparent, as if it is ice. Their skin, this deep teal, and their garments, these elaborate flowing robes. There do seem to be winter Eladrin up here. But you also see Genasi. Ice Genasi. Or water, frozen solid, one or the other, you're unsure. These elemental individuals walking alongside Goliath. These grey-skinned, half-giant individuals. Seems to be a bit of a mixed collection ahead of you.
Proceed with caution just in case. It is an interesting group they have here.
Have they spotted us?
Give me perception or insight.
I'm gonna do perception in the tray. 21.
Yeah. It looks like a few of them kind of look out in your direction, spot you, and just kind of go back to what they're doing.
Well, they've seen us. Do we still want to ask for directions?
Yeah, they haven't run us down to kill us yet. It's a good sign.
Alright.
Start heading over.
Head over, you can see one of these Frost Genasi individuals. Hi.
Hey. We're just wondering, well, trying to get somewhere. Wondering if maybe you guys could help us with directions.
Yeah, probably. Where are you heading?
We're trying to get to the verdant pools.
As you're talking to this Genasi, one of those Eladrin, these winter elves, walks up next to them. The verdant pools. Why?
We heard there's a way to get back to where we're from there.
Material plane, we'd like to go back.
Too much work. Would you rather just stay here?
It's a little bit cold for our liking.
You get used to it.
Do you have people you care about?
Kind of.
Even with such a chill lifestyle, I'm sure that you would put in a slight bit amount of extra effort when it came to maybe saving them from danger or helping them if they needed it.
I suppose.
That's where we're coming from. We have some friends that are in danger of where we're from, and we need to get back to them.
We just need directions.
All right. Yeah, come with us.
Okay.
Kind of turns and starts to like very half-heartedly sort of walk in a general direction.
Alright, start following slowly, yes.
Eventually a few people kind of take a little bit of interest. Some of them sort of make their way over. This individual that's leading you. They're looking for the verdant pools. One of the Goliath figures kind of walks over. I've been...
Could you show us how to get there?
Maybe. Where is here?
The Everfrost is where we are right now.
Right.
I
Yes.
heard it's northwest from here.
Yes, the verdant pools. You've headed plenty north. West.
We need to go west.
It's a pointless journey. You'll die in the cold. Be better off in the shelter of the woods.
We're all right, but thank you for the concern.
Very well. We tried.
Start heading west.
You wanna? I know you're still tapping into your capabilities.
Everything is wibbly wobbly here. It feels very overstimulated.
Do you have some way to create fire, maybe, that we can just keep with us?
Nope.
Is that another thing?
I did not take that.
I didn't want to know if it was an option.
It was an option.
Oh god. Oh,
Right.
it was.
Well, I haven't prepared it.
Sure,
I'm still
okay.
getting used to it. I prepared ice knife though.
Yes. I see.
Perfect.
That would keep us nice and
I am
toasty.
very new, and it pulled me in the idea of shooting ice out of my hand. That it did. It's very new to me.
What's the orb made of?
Glass.
You made that glass?
Yeah.
It's like a crystal opal kind of
Okay.
a vibe.
Do you know there was even a spell called Create Bonfire?
You know, I think like I would save using the ice knife thing like for when Lily's not around.
What do you mean?
Well, yeah, there's a lot of ice being shot out around. I think that's where you got the cool idea from.
Maybe.
While we're heading west though, do want to find some time to kind of people walking at their own pace.
Can I just get just before you embark on that, just a wisdom saving throw from everyone here?
Oh no.
Wisdom.
They're gonna try and charm us to stay.
Even
Oh,
with disadvantage, it's
wisdom.
pretty good.
Wisdom. 17.
Nice.
15.
Ooh! 18.
18.
Is this a charmed thing?
Yeah, it is.
18.
You all manage to resist the kind of it feels just dreary, the atmosphere of this little community, but there is like an innate magical force to it as well that you feel kind of tugging on the corner of your mind, just constantly asking, why bother? Why continue? It's too hard. Just stay here. Just sit down and rest. You'll kind of just pull that out of your minds and continue your journey west.
Yeesh.
Gotta kill the hag.
So I used to think, and it's not how I think anymore, so. I'll fall back to Lily as we're walking. I always struggle understanding people like you.
Like me.
Yeah. You're very, I guess, joyful in ways you can dance around, even in this creepy Fey realm that we're in. You, for some reason, spent time playing music and making people happy, yet you're not afraid to rush into danger with zero training when it comes to that sort of thing at all. And I guess I never really understand how people can do that.
What? Be carefree?
I guess. Yeah, being carefree and just being able to go into danger without worry, even though go into into danger, you act like the world hasn't done anything to you to make you not trust it. You don't put people, arm's length away, even though you've obviously had issues in your
It's
life.
with certain people, not a type of people.
For me, I just decided that it was good to push everyone away. So I never really understood how people could easily, be friendly. But I think it's a strength that can't be trained or taught. It's a strength that I don't think I could have. But I admire you for it.
You don't think you can have that strength?
It's not something that can be taught. And it's not something I innately have. I just think that after everything that's happened to you, you should know that you are strong and you shouldn't be scared after what happened.
Oh, well, if it makes more sense, say that I felt very alone in my early years. And then when I left, a lot of people were very friendly and welcomed me. And now I can rely on people and I'm not alone anymore.
Does that make sense? I feel like in a way we've lived opposite lives. You went from loneliness to embrace, while I went from embrace to loneliness. So I guess that's just a difference in how we grew up.
Do you still feel lonely?
No. I think recently, for sure, you guys have become my friends, and I feel more at home in my own skin recently than I did before. And I think being around people and joyful people like yourself and not so serious people like me, I know I am, but it makes me feel more human than what I felt before. I feel like I just felt like a weapon or
Like a tool?
yeah, not that I was being used by someone, but that's how I saw myself, more or less.
You felt like that was your only purpose?
I guess it's what I thought my purpose had to be, but there's a weird pleasure in choosing that to be your purpose versus thinking it had to be. But just wanted to say that you are strong and I do admire that. So, and I'm not one to tell people that often, so you won't hear it again. But you should at least hear it once.
I'll take it. While we're at it, I got some team name ideas.
Oh no, she's gotten the phone out.
The what?
A notepad.
Ideas for our team name.
All right, let's hear it.
Please tell me you thought of this like a week ago, not like when did you come up with this?
Like a few days ago, probably
Okay.
a week ago.
All right, let's hear them.
All right. Number 1, the Song Blades.
In 3, 2, 1, we do a this or this.
Okay.
Fey round, count us down.
Pharaoh, not even.
3, 2, 1. Ah.
I like it.
Say it again.
The Song Blades. Oh my god, it's the Song Blades. Where?
Let's hear the rest first. Okay, that's like a maybe. I didn't add it up.
All right.
Neutral.
Well, what else
Yeah.
have we got?
Fighters of the People. Could be too long.
Also sound, I don't know.
It,
Don't even need a
Yeah.
countdown.
Alright.
I was just
The Blade Song.
feel like this.
I don't like how it rolls
Okay,
off the tongue.
say wow, the Blade songs.
Wow, the Blade Song.
Now say the first one.
Look, it's the Song Blades.
I like that one better.
Hearing them both made me hate them both less. More than
All right, what else? I can see there's more.
There is more. They have some similar patterns. The Hero Song.
The hero song?
The change.
so,
Well, what else you've got?
The Hag Slayers.
No.
God. No.
I think not. Hard no.
Yeah.
And then the last one, the Iron Blood Wings.
Jesus Christ.
Why does it kind of go hard though?
No. That's something like
Don't you think that's cool?
that's something like I thought would be cool when I was 12.
Yeah, and people who are 12 will think, wow, that's cool.
Yeah, but I want to think it's cool now. Like, okay, I thought about a few names, but I totally didn't think I was gonna have to bring them up, so I just kind of put them in the back of my
On the
brain.
back burner.
Let's hear it.
All right, I gotta remember exactly what it was. Oh, well, like, you could be real simple and just be like the Silver Guardians. Or you could be like, you know how,
There was like the iron one.
oh, this would be like a really straight competition if we were the Silver Legion.
No. How about Guardians of the Realm?
Guardians of, oh, that does sound pretty sick.
Damn, that puts us like high up there.
Yeah, it does. Wait,
I'm writing that down.
Guardians of the Realm, that feels like, I like it. I do. More than that stuff.
No. I still think
It feels
Iron
ballsy to
Blood
say.
Wings. Maybe
Well-
it's like a prove our worth.
Well, I was thinking we protect Argentum. We protect, like, you know, the city. And, like, the city's all about, like, you know, the
Well,
city
maybe
of silver.
Guardians of Silver or Guardians of Argentum.
Mm.
Guardians of Silver is nice.
I like Guardians of Silver.
Though, actually, yeah, Guardians of Silver.
Now it's just a matter of how we spread that.
Well, I mean, I think that'll just be gradual, but then at least, you know, if we meet someone.
Nice thing about us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have our
Very own
advertisement right here.
advertisement.
Wow.
Oh, everyone seems so confused. I'm like, don't we just have a singer?
Sing the tales of name.
I thought we all reached a consensus consensus.
Do we like Guardians of the Realm? Realm Guardians.
What do you think, Feywild?
I have no input here.
Let us know down in the comments.
Realm seems grand.
It does seem grand, that's all, but it's kind of cool.
You could also go Protectors of the Realm. Protectors of Silver doesn't quite sound, but as well.
I like Guardians of Silver or Silver Guard. Those are both good.
Ooh, I kind of like
Guard.
Silver Guard's pretty sick.
Silver Guard's sick.
One of y'all said that.
I said similar things.
Yeah.
I think yours was like Silver Legion or something. Silver Guard. I like Guardians of Silver, that's kind of nice.
How is everyone doing anyway after the whole hag mess? It seems like. Well,
I'm doing quite well, I have to say. I'm
Yeah?
still. Well, I got my powers back.
Yeah,
I thought I would have to fight tooth and nail for it. I mean, it was still, I had to trade something, but
I just assumed that it would mean that potentially your nightmare was true, though.
I think there's more to it, and I have to have faith in that. So, when the time comes, I will speak to my father about it, and I have no doubt that he will tell me the truth.
Well, once he sees your eyes, he'll probably realize what's happened. Yeah, it was...
I wonder if he knew it would come to that. If, you know, he knew I was going to the Fey realm. I wonder if he knew that maybe, potentially, I would come back out with powers back.
Never know. We'll get a chance to ask him, though.
The only thing I think that still haunts me a little bit is the whole thing with his tutor, his teacher.
Yeah.
I refuse to believe it. I can't see it, but I have to ask him about it nonetheless. And just hope that he drops his guard so that I can finally get some answers.
Yeah, it seems questions and answers are the main thing we're all looking for these days.
Isn't anyone?
I feel grateful that we're all still together more than ever now. And I realize how important this group is to me now that we've, nearly lost one of us.
This entire adventure here in the Fey realm, it has definitely brought us closer as a group, for sure.
Yeah, and the stakes only get higher really now.
Mm.
Promise I made to keep Lily alive, or to bring her back, not keep her alive, I guess, was a hefty price that in a way doesn't change anything, because if I die, then it really doesn't change anything.
Well, I have a proposition that I was thinking about. I got a cure for Daria, which means technically she could come with us. She'd be in fighting form. I would leave it up to her, but I just wanted to see if you guys would be comfortable with it. I just feel like it'd give us an extra oomph that we might need to win this battle. This is a very important battle.
I don't doubt Daria's strength at all. I've seen it firsthand. I know that she's powerful, but are you really willing to let go of that image you saw during the last fight we've had with Daria and the Night Hag? The Night Hag perfectly showed that the others were nothing to her. I am 100% on board with getting allies if that's what we need to do to win, but I care about how you feel, and if your friend is there put in danger, that isn't right. And I just want you to remember that there was nearly a cost for having them there.
Well, when you do put it that way, it does take me back to our first fight, and I did not like that. And now, having seen Lily go down, I don't want to go through that with Daria. I mean, I've known Daria for so long. It's different. And there's no bringing her back very easily either.
No.
No, I think you're right. Maybe I was too hasty. I know there's a lot riding on this, and I wanted to make sure that we were prepared.
I think if we get back to the model plane, we need to do some research into what an hag really is before we rush.
Above table, did you tell us about, like, everything that you saw?
Not yet.
Not yet, okay.
I'm still cooking.
You're still cooking, alright.
With Lily and your unfortunate situation that happened, and with everything that's been going on recently, when it comes down to Granny, the night hag, needing more information when we leave this place, my next of kin, is that? No.
Bloodline.
My bloodline being on the line for this. It feels... A part of me doesn't want to share, but then when I think about how quickly I came to the solution to offer my bloodline to save you, it made me realize how important this group is to me than I realized at the time beforehand. And Lily probably didn't overhear it, I doubt.
What?
I don't know what you heard or whatnot before, but Yorna, you probably did hear me say the name of my family. And it means probably more to me than you guys realize. The next generation of striders. Like me, like I am now, not what I was before, we were protectors, my family, for centuries. It's hard to say how long at this point when things have been around forever. There was a tree in which I took a certain ritual using my potions that turned my hair white. That ritual is what defines a Bellwood. It's what defines who they are or who I am. And we're meant to protect the balance of the world, life, just stop things that would tilt it in directions that it was not meant to go. Those can be from demons, fiends, fae, undead. It could be anything that would deem it so. And I was not a pharmacist child, obviously. I'm too skilled. Well, I would hope I'm too skilled now to have the training by that point in time. But my family brutally, I guess, in a way, is no longer here. And I am the last who follows in that code. And therefore, if I die, or if we don't kill this night hag, then the traditions of my family that were taught to me die with it. And that is more important to me than, I guess, my life. Yet I was willing to sacrifice it to bring Lily back, and I would do it for you as well, Yorna. And it just feels wrong if I feel so attached to you guys that I would sacrifice everything that I hold dear to myself to bring back you guys from death. Yet,
Do you know, my take on it is that you have faith in us to pull through so that this is not something that you will have sacrificed. Once the Night Hag is dead, it'll be reversed and your bloodline will be intact.
I feel bad that I have such trust and such faith in yous that I guess, lie every day to use, and that doesn't feel. I used to be able to feel like that was okay, and that's what I had to do, but now it feels forced, doesn't feel natural, it feels painful in my chest. Like there's a noose kind of wrapped around my heart in a way that tightens with each lie or each secret.
Well, if it's secrets, you can tell us when you're ready.
I know, but we're getting to a point where there is no return, or a point that we're gonna need something that I can give, and that's knowledge. And without being honest, I can't share the knowledge. And I think it's as simple as I just want to be honest now. I'm tired of struggling to breathe when speaking to you. So, I don't know if Lily has ever heard the name before, just because I'm unsure what your life's like in Sassanor and after. But there's a lot of nasty rumors about us and me. And in telling you this, you're probably all likely to be in more danger. But I trust we can fight anything. But my real name, and I guess I can let down what I have grown used to. And Strider will nervously slick his hair back, just because out of habit or out of wanting to do something familiar to himself to get rid of the jitters.
Yeah.
Not the jitters.
Cough a lot, to the point where like you would probably hurt your throat at some point. And take a drink actually on that note. My real name is Vorg Elwood, and I've been on a run, and honestly, I really haven't been honest about who I am, and I want to start being honest now. So if you have any questions for me, feel free.
Upon hearing his last name again, as a member of the Iron Legion, would I be able to recall anything on the Bellwoods?
I mean, without even needing to roll, if you harken back to our session 0, any of that information would be available to you. The story of... Actually, I'll let you choose whether you disclose that yet or not, if anyone wants to discuss it or leave it unsaid, but as long as you're on the same page and know what I'm talking about.
I guess.
Wait, what? What do you mean?
Do you know what I'm on about?
No.
Okay. Mind me explaining the story as it is known?
Mm-hmm.
About the same time that you were joining the Legion's ranks, there was a family, a house, a guild that worked alongside the Legion. The Bellwood House. Protectors, hunters, they dealt with anything outside city walls, while the Legion dealt with anything inside. and not but a few months before you joined. The stories that you have heard is that they were desperate for additional power, additional strength, used their libraries of knowledge to attempt a deal with some devilish figure that went horribly wrong, left their house in flame and ruin, the family slaughtered, a lot of that carnage being brought to the street of Argentum. Protectors that betrayed the city is kind of the public image. Hence the Legion's eventual adoption of the automatons out of necessity.
I do recall this. There was a family, and I don't know why I didn't connect the dots earlier.
It's not something you would naturally probably put together.
I mean, this was at a time where I had just joined the Legion ranks, so it was... you.
I made sure of that when we first allied. That's why I wanted to know your age.
Oh.
The reason I adopted the name Strider and became who I was I feared for my life, really. Everything that you may heard, or you may heard if you have, I used to say was false. There are dreams and nightmares that have been plaguing me because of the Night Hag, and some of them don't apply great things. But I do not believe my father would have made dealings with devils, not for power. For years, we've been given essence from the grandfather tree, the Balwood tree, and that tree, when there's danger, it rings out bells and we can hear it. We can sense it and we know danger is near, and it knows where we are. If my father was to do something like that, I find it hard pressed to believe that the tree wouldn't have known. And what the stories do leave out are the masked men I've been looking for.
I was going to ask you about that. Who are they?
I don't know.
You don't know.
Looked for years.
And what role did they play?
Honestly, by either a smart plan or ploy to get rid of us, or by sheer fucking coincidence, they were there and armed and wanting to get rid of us as well. I was 9 when it happened, and I ran away, and I used to not be okay with admitting that I was scared, and that's why I left, but it is why. I've now also been looking for the masked men just to make sure that they're still not in the city or around looking for me. However, I was shown a dream recently, and I mentioned all of our faces on the board with like things pointing to us, someone hunting us or trying to figure out what we're doing here. And if I recall correctly, I did see a mask.
Yeah.
I think based on the mask I saw that it's them again, and they have connected that you guys know me, and they're blaming everything on us or on me. Who knows what they want or who they are, but they're dangerous. I was shown a vision of Carmine and a bunch of hooded people with those masks, and I would assume they're legionnaires, but I just assumed they were trying to throw me off, to scare me into maybe not trusting you and maybe not trusting Sebastian, but I don't know. I just don't want to really think about what was shown to me unless I see it in person.
Take everything with a grain of salt.
But it's why I know so much about these creatures. I studied them when I was younger, even if I wasn't supposed to. But there's demons now entering our realm outside the city and are planning to attack the city. So I think it was time that, I guess there's no better time than to have a Bellwood now than there is before. I know what ticks in their heads and things. The reason I share this is I just didn't want to lie anymore. And if we're to defeat the Night Hag, I might need to find some information for us. And that information could be at the old house.
The old house? The burnt one?
Yeah, if anything. I haven't gone back. I just couldn't.
Do you think?
Where was this old house? The one that burned?
Give me a history check.
Oh,
Come on. 18.
18. You would have probably been in the city around the time that this might have happened. Maybe in the higher districts where they weren't so affected, but the hillside just out the city, maybe an hour and a half travel by horse, filled the sky with orange for a night. It's since turned into a forest, completely overgrown, but just outside the city on the hillside.
Was that at all near where that black dragon or that dragon?
No, that's on the mountains on the other side of the city.
I just had to make sure you got dragon eyes, like, it was,
If it does help put some trust in my family name, the very first, it was, well, in books it was stated that Victor was given the dragon blood from the silver dragon that built the city, as in like a agreement to help defend.
Was it not a platinum dragon?
Silver Dragon built the city. Platinum Dragon's the god.
Gotcha.
City of silver.
Yeah.
do you think they'll interfere with our mission to fight the hag?
The masked people? It's really hard to tell. I don't think so. They haven't made a movie yet, and I think that's because maybe their numbers have dwindled since. It has been a long time. And do I remember if any of them got on, like, if any of them died during that?
Oh, definitely. There would have been a few, but those that remained quickly cleaned up any evidence.
I don't think they would make a move unless they were really ready to. And that is why it's important that we find my sister to maybe help us at some point. Maybe not for the hag, but if this blood day is to come as well.
You say that your sister doesn't follow the path anymore. The path of the Bellwood.
No.
What does she do? Do you know? Or?
She, for a long time I had nightmares because I was told that I should find her when it happened those years ago. And I couldn't find her, so I left. I've been trying to find her since, and I recently, maybe a few months ago, got the first letter. The reason I was so sad at the festival was because she admits that she has seen me around. She knows that I exist.
But she never came over to say hello.
No. She said that it worries me. She said that she's going to get rid of the fiendish blood that runs through the city and the people that did what they did to our family. She said that I wouldn't like what I see, but once she's done, she'll come find me. And I'm afraid that maybe she's taking dark or taking certain risks to getting revenge. And I know for years that I felt like revenge, and only recently did I realize that, and maybe it's still revenge that I seek, but I'm not doing it because of revenge. I'm doing it so it doesn't happen again. But she might be taking things too far, and she said she was close, and it just worries me because I don't know what she can pull off. I knew that she had capability of casting spells when she was young, but barely a novice when I knew her.
Would the Night Hag make deals? Do you think that's just in their nature? Just to make deals?
Oh, wow.
If it counts as a night hag anymore, but if it's a demon or a devil controlling the night hag, they'd probably make deals as well. So it's probably highly likely either way.
Do you think your sister might be muddled in it?
I don't think she would fall for something like that. Maybe she said she had found people to help her, but yes. I worried about it when we first saw fire marks outside of Bloomgrove, because I know that she seems to have taken, I guess, a connection to fire magic in a way, but can I recall what the hag said regarding my sister? Because I believe she called me the one that thought he got away, and then when I asked about my sister, did she seem surprised? When I asked her about my sister, was she surprised?
She knew that your sister existed.
Yeah.
What is your sister's name?
It's funny you ask that. I believe in one of the letters she states that after all of this is done, she wants to get rid of the name she now goes by, the name that people fear. She didn't state what it was then, her current name, but
Well, what was her given name? The name you remember her by?
I don't want to say it, not because I don't trust any of you, and of course I would tell you, but I just haven't really said those words out loud.
If you're not ready, I won't push it.
I just want to save it for when I see her. When I make sure that she's still there, wherever she is. But it's the last thing we need to do is find her now. But it's just something that I think eventually I'd like to do, if we're to deal with what the hag's preparing for. Because honestly, she's preparing for something. Whatever the Day of Blood is, she wanted the weapon for it, and now is throwing automatons out of the window to randomly attack the city for some reason. With, it seems, no plan, but I doubt she doesn't have a plan. And whatever, if she's that scared or needs to be that prepared, we need to be that prepared too.
I agree. Well, first things in order, let's get to these verdant pools.
If there is water, we should also probably not touch it.
Agreed.
It's because of everything we've been told.
Onwards.
Onwards, following the North Star again.
South Star.
Well, where?
We want to go west.
South Star, but we're going west now.
Okay, you continue along this conversation, going through most of the rest of your day's travel, so by this point would be bunking down for a night's rest once again here in the snowy expanse. Who's going to be taking the watch?
Is it windy here, perhaps?
A little bit. Enough that it'll discourage sleep.
Would it discourage a fire, perhaps?
You could fasten something to keep a breeze off of a fire, but you could certainly try.
Instead of a fire, I like to take, because I just want to double check. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah. As long as it it don't cause damage to it. I like to grab my sword or my rapier and stick it in the ground
Yeah.
and then cast heat metal on it.
Okay. Yeah, totally.
Will it not melt?
I'll try and make it not melt.
What level is heat metal again, please?
Second.
Okay. I just don't want you shooting off fireworks
pew,
again.
pew, pew,
Or
pew.
growing another rat?
Yeah. Well, no, please don't.
Well,
I'm actually kind of glad we got rid of Rat.
I just wish I knew what had become of him.
I think he's just living a cozy life in that room that you were in. I think he just hopped out as you left.
Probably.
You sit down for a while, use heat metal on your blade enough to warm your hands, and as by the time that you feel concentration on that spell kind of drifting, you're able to use the heat of the blade to start a fire, no roll required, and just kind of keep that heat for the rest of your rest. As you do so, I'll need, if someone is keeping watch,
Yeah,
a perception.
I'll keep watch again. Still exhausted, however, but
Yes.
I have advantage on wisdom checks, luckily.
Yeah.
17.
17. All right. And with a successful fire being lit here in the frozen expanse, you may all take your con saves with advantage.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Probably should have cuddled or something for heat.
Oh no.
16 plus
Oh, it's
3.
probably too late to guidance, and then I just realized I'll be sleeping anyway, so it's a moot point.
15, perhaps?
15. All right.
14.
14. Okay. Everyone was above 15, yes?
No, I was at 14.
You're
Oh.
fine, because you don't have a level of exhaustion yet.
Ah.
So your DC is still 10.
Ah!
Your guys is 15.
Oh, thank God.
So meets it, beats it.
I thought it was 15 last time, and I'll be like, are you
No.
kidding me?
You all settle down for a rest. That will mean that the two of you will complete a long rest successfully and will remove the level of exhaustion you do have. No one gains any further. But Strider,
Oh, boy.
as your friends are kind of just coming out of their sleep, and you've just come out of yours after keeping an eye on them, and looking up, the snow seems to be a much lighter snowfall here in the early morning. Just kind of on the breeze, you hear this
No.
fluttering sound. You look up and around and kind of sit back, look behind your group. Maybe about 100 feet away and 45 feet in the air, you can see the familiar kind of half feminine, humanoid, half dragonfly beetle woman.
Oh.
The purple carapace, 4 or 6 arms, those large wings just kind of in a blurred up and down. That herald, that messenger of the Court of Dusk that had caught your path previously, kind of looking down at your group, points down at you, says something to her side as if addressing someone you cannot see.
Can I quickly kick everyone?
Yeah?
Just tap everyone and say, get the fuck up now. That bitch is back.
What?
As you all stir from your sleep, her attention draws back to you. And just through the breeze, you hear her go, "You are lucky. The Queen of Dusk would have had your heads, but a trusted member of our court wants the fight." And that's where we're going to end the session there.
Wait, a trusted member of the court wants the fight.
Yes.
Oh, fuck. Someone's soloing us out.
Actually, what was your perception check?
It was...
17?
Yeah, 17.
You hear the familiar beating of Karak wings
Yeah.
That's what I assumed it was.
And we'll pick up there next session.
Yuck. Yuck, I say.